Hello and welcome back to another weekly outlook. Yesterday was a bank holiday in the US, so we decided to put out a weekly outlook right before the trading session on Tuesday. So here we are with the charts. Let's jump right into it. So starting off, we obviously had a few AU news releases, red folder news releases in the last Asian session, and we had a few Geo news releases as well. But we are inching closer towards CAD CPI as well as some NZ news releases. This will be something to watch out for. This red folder news releases. Someone please clarify to me in the comments what really is FOMC meetings. Is it the actual FOMC release, or is it just the meeting minutes from the previous meeting, the previous FOMC release? Other than that, we have our usual unemployment claims on Thursday. Then we have a 9:45 a.m., a 10 a.m. news release, flash services PMI, and we have a lot of EU Geo news releases as well as CAD news releases and a few USD news releases this week. I think the week more or less looks good to trade almost every day. Tuesday might be a little low probability because of no US news release, but other than that, I think if a setup comes, I'll more or less be looking forward to get into some positions. So let's look at the dollar index. So let's look at the dollar index. On the monthly, as we can see, we are bullish or bearish on the macro levels, can be easily decided by this deviation. Is it a deviation? Is it not a deviation? I think we still have 2 trading weeks left in February, so it is a little hard to tell right now, but it more or less might be just a deviation when price shoots back right into this 2-year-old range. As we can see on the daily, we had a weekly fair value gap which now we have inverted very promisingly, and if price takes support off of this inverted fair value gap, I think it'll form a balanced price range. We have obviously left behind a weekly order block as well, and we are inside an order block, so we are in between opposing arrays. Price action might or might not behave a little tied down, I must say, a little reluctant, because we are in between a bearish and a bullish weekly order block. On the daily, as we can see, we have a bearish daily fair value gap, and this is the Monday, consolidating Monday, consolidated well inside the wick of Friday price action. What we are essentially looking for is a Monday range play where price can sweep Monday highs and take price lower. Jumping on the hourly, we have already formed a high of the day on the 12 a.m. candle. What I want to see is price maybe sweeping this and sweeping these highs right inside a bearish hourly order block, and then price can trickle down towards these lows. Similar plan in the correlated pairs. My bad. As we can see on EU, we have, see, price is really easy to read when you trickle down information little by little from higher time frame charts to the lower time frame charts. As we can see, we are inside a monthly fair value gap, and we can essentially call this a range, and this price action can act as a deviation after price gets back inside this range here. On the weekly, as we can see, price swept these lows not once but twice, right around this 50% area of the monthly fair value gap. Price has since then taken support and moved towards these highs. More clearer picture on the daily, as we can see the sweep here. Price impulsively moved towards higher prices, leaving behind a daily order block where price took support very comfortably, and since then has pushed on towards these highs, which I am aiming right now. More or less good reason to aim for these highs, as the order flow is bullish on the daily. We can see we have run through these highs, leaving behind a daily order block here in these candles, and we have a daily fair value gap left open as well. And on the 4 hour, we have a 4 hour order block as well to provide us support. Again, similar play as I was looking for in DXY. I want these candles to sweep, this low to be swept inside this daily fair value gap, and some support to be provided by this 4 hour order block, as we've seen a really tight range here, 60 65 pip range across Friday and Monday. So I think it is prime for a sweep here and run into these highs. That will be my A1 setup. I'll be getting into longs for that. Similar outlook on Geo, starting off with a weekly. As we can see, we are inside a monthly order. Similar outlook on Geo, as we are here inside a monthly order block, flipping the monthly fair value gap that we had left open here, forming a balanced price range. And as we go down on the daily, we'll be able to see that we have flipped this daily order block as well, and we have already taken out these highs. We are inside a bearish weekly order block, but I am aiming for higher prices because the correlated pairs EU and DXY both correlated, and the underlying asset both are primed to move in that direction. So we have our bias clear, which makes it even more important to look at correlated and underlying assets to have a more clearer grasp on the charts. As we can see on the 4 hour, I don't want price to go back inside this range, although the price action will still be bullish, but I don't want to see a dive back and into this range trying to rebalance this gap left open. I want to see some reaction on the intermediate time frames instead. Price reacting off of these lows, taking support from this 1 hour order block, and essentially giving us a Asian range play again. We swept last week's highs in the previous Asian session, but I don't think this is going to hold long, as if we just sweep and hold above these lows, I think we can take out these Asian highs very easily. We'll cut through knife through these highs. Very simple price action on AU and NZ both. So on AU, as we can see, we have swept these lows and then we have given another sweep. So we have a double sweep here. We had a weekly fair value gap open, which has been well and truly flipped now, and it acts as an inverse fair value gap, giving us a balanced price range. Price action has been so strong towards the upside that it has given a run on liquidity, closing above these highs, giving us a shift in market structure, leaving behind a daily daily bullish breaker block. My bad for the stuttering. And price looks prime to take support off of this fair value gap and push higher. Although we have seen a tap into that daily fair value gap in the previous Asian session. We won't be acting upon it because we want to see a run of these lows again, maybe, and then a shift in order flow on the smaller time frames, maybe on the 15-minute or on the 1 hour, before getting into any longs in AU. And similar price action on NZ, where we can see price hasn't swept these lows. So this is essentially the low. Price has created a SMT, which we very regularly see between two correlated pairs, and NZ and EU being correlated with the same underlying asset, dollar. We can say that we have a bullish outlook on the higher time frames on NZ as well, similar to AU. And the price action has been very similar as well, as we have flipped this bearish weekly fair value gap, and it acts like a support now as a bullish inverse fair value gap, and this is a bullish breaker block, and we look to take support off of this fair value gap left open. But if I was to decide if a setup tends to appear on both AU and NZ, I would more likely be choosing AU because of the clearer price action on the higher time frames. We have a double sweep and very strong reaction off of it. So I'll be more leaned on towards AU. So let's see. On USD CAD now, uh, as you can, I've clearly avoided this pair for quite a few months now, but as you can see, price has just swept these highs on the monthly. The weekly, if we go down, price has ran through these fair value gaps, might just invert it, and on the daily we can have a Monday range play here. We have a fair value gap left open as well, and we have CPI and inflation rate releases on the CAD today, and some important news releases on Friday as well. So I think it might be a good pair to trade if the setup comes, because high frequency of red folder news is. So let's see, but nothing more to look at on the lower time frames. Obviously, we have a shift in structure on the daily. This entire zone can act like a bearish order block. We have a shift in structure here. But yeah, let's see how price reacts to the red folder news releases. Now on USD JPY, I am not really a fan of this price action because price was moving bullish and then now has invalidated this set of bullish fair value gaps, and now on the daily, price has taken support of this bearish order block. And if I am to get into anything, my outlook towards this price action is obviously bearish. I am looking to target these lows and these lows eventually, but I want to see a perfect setup forming obviously before getting into anything. It will be very interesting to see if we will hold this 4-hour bearish order block or not. Possible that we sweep Asian highs here, as we have a few Japanese news releases as well, red folder news releases as well this week. We have the inflation rate release and the balance of trade upcoming in the Asian sessions, but nothing interesting as such. My bad. And this makes me a bit more skeptical as well, because I am looking for shorts on dollar JPY, but euro JPY and GBP JPY has just swept these lows, and pushed off really strongly from these lows, as we can see in both the pairs here. So, really a tricky one for me. Will I take a trade? Will I just avoid it to preserve my capital? Will be something that I'll be constantly updating in my Discord group. I'll be sharing all the charts, all the real time setups that I take and trade off of, all the executed trades. If it's a win or a loss, doesn't matter. I'll be sharing it on my Discord with the PNL. So make sure to join the Discord link mentioned in the description. So yeah, on SPX CFD, as you can see, we are on the weekly. We have swept the lows twice inside a weekly order block, taken support from it, and pushed on higher towards the highs, leaving behind a bullish daily order block in the process where the price has swept the lows again after sweeping the highs. And price has traded slowly towards the highs again of these range and the all-time highs, and we are already at the all-time highs, so bear in mind. But price doesn't seem to show any weakness, and even if it does, this is the key level. If price closes below this Friday low, I'll be staying out of the market. But if this Friday low is swept, again I'm looking for a Monday range play where this Friday and Monday range that has accumulated. I want to see a sweep of these lows, gaining some support from this daily fair value gap, and price to push on forward. I have similar views on NAS CFD as well, but the price action doesn't look that clean as it looks here. I'm able to study the price action on all time frames here, which is not the case in NAS. So I'll be opting for trades on SPX if it ever comes to it. Uh, so last week I took two trades on gold and one trade I took in EU as well, right around here. So two trades on gold, hit uh, one I took with half the risk, and that hit the stop loss on Friday. And I took one trade which was a swing trade I was holding from Tuesday, I guess, and I closed it on Friday right around here when I saw the price action shifting from the daily, from price action shifting on the hourly. The order flow shifted and I exited the position. So I share all my trades on Discord. I'll be sharing a detailed breakdown of the trades accumulated with this week's trades towards the end of this week, towards maybe this weekend. But I constantly update my Discord, share all the trades, all the positions that I'm taking, all the daily charts updated in real time. So make sure you check out my Discord, link in description. And yeah, so for gold, let's just jump into the 15 minutes, see how beautifully price action worked here. We had a manipulation of these lows after a good strong accumulation on Wednesday. Took a trade of this 15-minute fair value gap, and since then rode this entire range, was targeting these all-time highs, as I posted on my Twitter as well, that maybe we might be looking at new highs. As I posted on my Twitter as well, that we may be looking at new highs, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. The order flow on the hourly shifted and I exited my position somewhere here. No, I exited my position around 29.20, so somewhere here. Still made 1% off of it, and took a trade which was a L, where I risked 0.5%, so more or less made 0.7, 0.8% out of two trades, which is not that great, but yeah, and made 1% on EU. I'll be sharing the breakdown soon. So On the US oil, as we can see, we are inside a cluster of bullish order blocks. So price, need to be wary of the price. But on the intermediate time frames, the order flow is clearly bearish, and what I want to see is again a Monday range play where I sweep these Friday highs. Again, we have swept these highs a few hours ago, right towards the end of the London session. But I want to see a sweep again and maybe a shift in market structure on 15-minute or the 1 hour chart, and we can aim towards these lows at least. And yeah, on crypto looks very cooked in my opinion. Look at these candles. These past 2 weeks have been like hell for people trading crypto. Look at this, these VIX, these crypto has been more or less consolidating. Bitcoin has been consolidating inside a $6,000 range. So from 93,500 to 100,000, it has just been consolidating. And I don't want to go down in the charts on the lower time frame, but we have a bearish order block here, and I want to see a sweep of any of these highs around 99,000 or 100,000, or maybe right inside the daily bearish order block around 100,500. But I want to see something. Won't be trading in this consolidating price action. And similar goes from ETH USD. After this strong move downwards and this huge wick that is created, we touched $2,000, and then this in humongous wick has been created, and since then the price action has more or less just died. So I want to see some pump, some volume pumped into it, some movement before I look towards these crypto coins, pairs, whatever. And I've shared my plans for DXY, EU, and GU, AU as well as SPX. So let's see how that plays out. And that's all for today's stream. For today's weekly outlook, I'll be posting a concept video which I have in which I have already. I think it's already finished. I'll be uploading it in a few weeks, in a few days, my bad. And by the end of the week, I'll be uploading the trade breakdown. So make sure to check that. Make sure to check the description and look at all my other socials. If you like my content, please follow me there. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, share it with your friends if you find some alpha in these videos, and make sure to join the Discord channel so we can constantly be in touch, as well as you can see how I trade and formulate my ideas in real time. Till then, stay safe, happy trading, hope to see you soon. Bye bye.